It all began, as most significant things do, quite innocently. A group project, psychology of influence of all ironies. They paired us up, me and Sarah. Sarah, even her name felt right, not like the others, all loud and messy, constantly vying for attention. Sarah was different. She had this quiet intensity, a way of tilting her head when she was truly listening, a subtle crinkle at the corner of her eye when she genuinely smiled at something I said. Most people just nodded, waiting for their turn to speak. But Sarah, she listened. She actually listened to me. We spent hours in the library, the fluorescent lights humming, the world outside fading away. We talked about the project, of course, but it always branched out. She'd ask about my classes, my thoughts in the future, little things about my life, outside of academics. It felt like she saw me, not just the quiet guy in the back, the one who mostly kept to himself. She saw me, the real me. And that smile she gave me, that soft laugh when I made a joke about the professor's quirky habits, that wasn't just politeness. That was a spark, a genuine connection. I knew it, right then and there, that something profound was happening between us. The project eventually ended, but our connection, how could it? It was just there, a silent understanding. But she didn't seem to realize it, not yet. She'd walk away after class talking to her friends, laughing. It felt like she was forgetting what we had, what we built. So I had to remind her. Not in an obvious way, of course, just subtle, caring, protective even. I started paying attention, really paying attention. Her favorite coffee shop, the one with the outdoor seating, her usual table, right by the window. I grab a coffee myself, sit across the street, just watch. Make sure she was okay. She walks alone sometimes, you know. This campus, this city, it's not always safe. Someone needs to look out for her. And who better than me, the one who knows her, truly understands her. I learned her schedule, easy enough to figure out once you know where to look. She's so predictable in a comforting way. The same route to the gym, the same little grocery store on Tuesdays. It felt like I was piecing together a puzzle, building a complete picture of her life, her habits, her very essence. Every piece bringing us closer, and it was exciting, you know, like we were already sharing a life, a quiet intimacy. She just hadn't fully caught up to the reality of it yet. Sometimes I'd engineer chance encounters near the library, maybe just outside of her apartment building. Just a quick, "Hey, Sarah." She'd be surprised, sometimes a little flustered, her eyes widening for a moment. And that's when I'd see it again, that flicker, that momentary recognition of our shared bond. She's just shy, that's all, playing hard to get a little bit. But I know what's underneath. I left her a rose last week, a single, perfect rose on her doorstep. It's a classic, right? A silent message. I'm here. I remember. I care. She hasn't mentioned it. Why? Is she testing me? Does she not realize the depth of my devotion? I see her light on at night. What's she doing? Who's she talking to? It should be me. It will be me. She just doesn't know it yet. But she will, soon. And then our story can finally begin, openly and truly. People are so careless with their lives. They leave little pieces of themselves everywhere, just waiting to be picked up. My interest in Emily started on the bus. She left behind a half-finished crossword puzzle. Most people would just see trash. I saw a window, her handwriting, the way she filled in the blanks. It was a signature, a breadcrumb. And I realized if you pay enough attention, you can collect the whole person without them ever knowing. I don't care about a connection in a typical sense. I'm not trying to win her over. I'm just assembling her. Piece by piece, her discarded coffee cups from her favorite cafe. I can gauge how often she drinks caffeine, what brand she prefers, the concert ticket stub from last month. I know her taste in music. A grocery list she dropped. I know what she eats, if she's healthy, if she has pets. Every single item tells a story, and I'm the only one reading the whole book. It's about the intimacy of knowing, the kind of intimacy you can't get from talking to someone. Talking, that's just a performance. People hide, but they're trash, they're forgotten items. That's pure, unadulterated truth. I found her old library card once, tucked into a book in a public bin. The book she checked out. It opened a whole new world of her thoughts, her fears, her dreams, all just waiting for me to discover. The thrill isn't about being seen by her, it's about seeing her, fully, completely, without her consent or knowledge. It's about building her life in my head, knowing her pattern, her routines, her preferences, down to the brand of shampoo she uses from a discarded bottle outside of a recycling bin. I'm constructing the perfect version of her, a living, breathing entity that exists solely for me. Sometimes I'll even leave a little gift for her, a new pencil for the crossword, a specific brand of tea she likes left anonymously at her door, not to make her feel afraid, but to let her know that someone knows. Someone appreciates the beautiful details of her existence. That I'm the one who truly sees her, collects her, understands her, and she doesn't even know she's already mine, in a way no one else could comprehend. They might call it obsessed, but I call it living. I'm building a masterpiece, one discarded fragment at a time. And the beauty of it is, she'll never know. She'll never truly know how intimately known she is. And that, to me, is the ultimate connection, the ultimate control, the ultimate passion. I saw Anya for the first time outside the library. She dropped her books, and this guy, he just walked right past her. He didn't even stop. It was a small thing, but it infuriated me. How could anyone be so oblivious, so uncaring? Right then, I knew she was too vulnerable, too trusting. She needed someone to look out for her, someone who actually noticed the world around her and the dangers lurking within. It wasn't about wanting her, it was about needing to protect her. I started by just making sure she got home safe from class. I'd follow at a distance, just to be sure. There are so many careless drivers, so many weirdos out there. She'd never know. Of course, that was the point. True protection isn't about getting thanked. It's about making sure the bad things don't happen. I learned her routes, her usual spots, her apartment building, the grocery store, the bus stop. I check her car tires when it was parked, make sure they looked okay. I saw a flickering streetlight near her block once, and I called the city to report it. She probably thought it was just the city doing its job, but it was me, making her world safer, making sure she was safe. Sometimes she talked to people I didn't like, guys who seemed too eager, friends who seemed to be a bad influence. I couldn't let them jeopardize her. I created diversions, subtle disruptions, a forced fire alarm that made her leave a party early, a lost package containing her name that made her cancel a meeting, not to harm her, but to steer her away from potential dangers. She'd be confused, maybe a little annoyed, but she'd never know I was only pulling the strings for her own good. I even had to remove a threat once. This guy at the coffee shop, always trying to chat her up. Too close, too familiar. I made sure he got fired. Sent an anonymous tip about him stealing from the register. It was a lie, of course, but it was necessary. Anya was safe now. She needs me. She might not realize it yet, but she does. Every choice I make, every action I take is for her, to shield her from the darkness, to keep her pure. She's my sole purpose, my sacred trust, and I will keep watching. I will keep protecting, because that's what love is, isn't it? Constant vigilance, never letting go, never letting her fall. Please, don't be him. Please, please, please just be the wind. Oh God, my heart. I can't catch my breath. It feels like it's going to explode out of my chest. How did I get like this? How did it go from just annoying to this constant gut wrenching fear? It started. It seemed simple, a stupid group project. Psychology. God, the universe has a sick sense of humor. They put me with him, Mark. From the very first meeting, something felt wrong. It wasn't just quiet, it was coiled. He had his way of looking at me, this intensity. It wasn't like he was interested in a project. It felt like I was the project. I feel his eyes on me, even when I wasn't looking. A heavy crawling sensation on my skin. I kept telling myself, "You're overreacting, Sarah. He's just focused." But my instincts were screaming. Those library sessions, they were torture, pure torture. It felt like the walls were closing in. He asked these questions, digging and digging, trying to get under my skin. What do you dream about, Sarah? Who do you trust, Sarah? It wasn't conversation. It was an interrogation wrapped in a creepy smile. I felt trapped. Every time I tried to stare back to work, he'd find a way back to me. I started making excuses to leave early, faking headaches, anything to get away. My stomach would be in knots hours before we even met. I woke back to my dorm, my keys clenched in my fist, jumping at every shadow. When the project ended, I thought, I prayed, it would be over. But it only got worse. He started appearing everywhere. It wasn't chance, it couldn't be. Outside my lecture hall, by the gym, near my apartment, my God, near my home. That first time I saw him on my street, just standing there. Oh, hey Sarah, what a coincidence. I almost threw up. My blood turned to ice. It wasn't a coincidence, it was a message. I know where you are. I started running sometimes, taking ridiculously long routes, terrified to turn the corner and see him there, waiting. It felt like I was being hunted. I couldn't go to my favorite places anymore. He'd find them. He'd just be there, watching. The coffee shop. I saw him across the street, and I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was an animal in a cage, and he was just staring, waiting. I feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. My muscles are always tensed, waiting for him. I can't relax, not for a second. My grades are slipping. I can't focus. All I can think about is he there? Is he watching me now? And then the rose on my doorstep, where I sleep, where I'm supposed to be safe. It wasn't a gift. It was a violation, a threat. He's been here. He knows where I live, and he can get to me. I haven't slept properly since. Every noise makes me jump. Is he outside? Is he trying the door? I keep checking the locks over and over. I feel like I'm going insane. I'm trapped in my own apartment, too scared to go out, too scared to stay in. Who do I tell? Will they believe me? Or will they say he's just being nice? He's not nice, he's terrifying. What does he want? What is he going to do next? Oh God, what if he tries to get in? I don't know what to do.
I feel so alone, so breakable. He's everywhere and nowhere. It's like he's inside my head now. I see him in crowds. I hear his voice in whispers. I just want it to stop. Please, just make it stop.